This is regarding the case of the Bollywood singer Kanika Kapoor of baby doll fame having tested positive for coronavirus. The singer, who arrived from London, attended a family get-together on the 13th of March, which was attended by top political leaders, such as, by their own admission, that came in the form of a tweet from the former Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje and her son, who are now on precautionary self-quarantine. Times Network actually spoke to the singer, saying that only a few family members were present at this small party of hers. She's of course defended that and also given out dates of her return and when this party happened. Take a listen in.
News doing the rounds that you tried to, dodge the airport officials. Would you want to clarify on that?
No, it's all. That is the only reason I'm happy to talk, because that's all rubbish.
Right. And so can you tell us exactly what happened? How did you sort of...
I was in London for almost 2 weeks. I go to London because I live between London and Lucknow. My children study in London. I'm a single mother. So I was there with them. And after that, I came back to Bombay on the 9th of March.
Right.
When there were not such big announcements made at that time.
Right.
On the 9th of March, there were none of these big announcements made nationally.
Right.
9th of March, I came in through Bombay. I came on transit to Lucknow.
Right.
At Bombay airport, when I landed, we were all screened properly. The medical people there spoke to us. They screened us. We filled in the form. They questioned us, and they let us go home. And they did not say to us that we need to be in quarantine or we need to do anything any other way.
Okay. Ma'am, you were not aware...
And then I came back home. And then I came back home to Lucknow to my parents.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am...
that is...
Okay. Ma'am, were you not aware that you were supposed to self-quarantine yourself because you just come back from a foreign, destination?
On the 9th of March, I was not told by anybody that I have to self-quarantine myself if I've come back from London. On the 9th of March, I was not told anything.
Ma'am, is it
true? And if I was told, I'm somebody who really lives by the book. I would have not gone against any rules or broken any rules.
Ma'am, is it true that you hosted a party for friends and family at a hotel in Lucknow, while keeping in mind that you...
Not at all. Absolutely not. In fact, I clarified that one of my childhood friends, there was a family get-together on 13th of March in their house, where me, my parents, we all were there. It was a small get-together for his birthday, for a cake cutting.
Okay.
There was no event. There was nothing massive hosted by anybody. Anything that was going to happen with anybody, all our events, everything has been cancelled.
Okay. Ma'am, there's reports that a member of parliament who was there in the party, we're not taking his name, was also there in the party. He's also gone in for test. Was it, did you have friends and, bureaucrats and politicians also at the party?
Yes, we have family friends and family members who work for the government of India and are bureaucrats. So a few of them who are family members were also present there.
Okay. Ma'am, lastly, you've said that you're a law-abiding person, but do you regret some of the decisions that, you could have probably taken some steps, self-quarantined yourself and probably avoided, having a party at home? Do you sort of regret it now?
I did not, sir, I'm repeating myself. I did not have a party at home.
Okay. You attended one?
I attended, like my other family members,
right.
We attended a small family dinner.
Okay. Okay. And ma'am, what is the latest on...
And that was last week, when there was not so much. And the moment things were announced, none of the family members have also met.
Okay. And ma'am, what are the authorities saying? There's obviously going to be a step of, retracing all your steps and probably getting in touch with the people that you've sort of had contact with.
Anyone and everyone that I have been in contact with since I have come to India, I have informed the main doctor who is responsible for this first thing in the morning, and I have informed everybody myself to be in quarantine and to go and test.
Right, ma'am. And ma'am, finally, anything that you'd want to say to sort of, there are a lot of news going around. So anything that you'd want to say on your part, which we can, put out.
I'd just like to say that please किसी के बारे में बिना पूछे समझे किसी के बारे में अफवाहें ना फैलाएं और and not to come down to conclusions on their own because the truth is far from what a lot of people are just writing without consulting, without asking, without talking, and it's not fair.
The singer, of course, has tried to clarify on several fronts on questions being raised on her. But here's a word that's now coming in from the former Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje regarding herself and her son, saying that they've put themselves on self-quarantine because they also attended a party where the singer Kanika Kapoor was present. Kanika Kapoor, as we know, has tested positive. She'd also just given out the dates of her arrival, saying that she was not informed about home quarantine. She went ahead to Lucknow and on 13th met with several more people. Our deputy news editor Meenakshi Bhanja is getting us those inputs here. Meenakshi, with respect to how many people that the singer has been in touch with, contact tracing that could go back to Parliament in session, to other states as well, this could be huge.
Absolutely fair. This is a clear indication of a clear streak of negligence, perhaps, because remember, we are seeing so much information now percolate from leaders of the globe, from the likes of Donald Trump to Justin Trudeau to even Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, telling everybody about the merits of self-isolation. But despite that, we have a scenario here where there was a social gathering which was attended by which has been affirmed as a COVID positive person, Kanika Kapoor, that we're talking about, which furthermore led to developments like Vasundhara Raje, a very tall leader of the BJP, former Chief Minister Rajasthan, having to volunteer and put this information in public domain as to how she and her son were also present in that particular party, as a result of which both of them have now gone into self-isolation. But the news doesn't just stop there, Sahel. Dushyant Singh is a BJP MP. He was in contact with other members of parliament as well. And as we know, the mode of transmission of this particular virus is from people to people, which makes it all the more acute, which is the reason we are seeing from the union government to the various state governments in India clamp down regulatory measures at the same time. So therefore, this becomes all the more negligent and all the more gross at a certain extent as far as the detection of the transmission is concerned, particularly in this case about this singer, because now we know how many people were present in the same gathering that she was also in the midst of.
Yes, stay with us, Meenakshi. This is, of course, with respect to how this could, if at all, have an impact on the ongoing session of Parliament, because several MPs have raised a concern. They were sharing space with Dushyant Singh, and this is a word now that's coming from TMC MP Derek O'Brien, coming forward saying that he was sitting next to Dushyant Raje on Wednesday during the Parliamentary Standing Committee meeting. Take a listen in.
That one Lok Sabha MP, Dushyant, he's also gone into self-isolation. Now, I was sitting next to him day before yesterday for 2.5 hours during a transport parliamentary standing committee meeting.
Right. Meenakshi, this is, of course, just a concern being raised by one of the MPs. But to what extent this could further intensify that this demand that Parliament session be cut off, be shortened now?
Sir, there is a grave concern, and let us bring to our viewers news that has emanated from Derek O'Brien's disclosure. Derek O'Brien has gone in self-isolation. We are confirming to our viewers on Mirror now, as a result of that particular interface he had with Dushyant Singh at that parliamentary meeting, although Derek told us as to how he was wearing a mask at that point in time when he was in contact with Dushyant Singh, but clearly there are other MPs like Dipender Hooda of the Congress who also had lunch at one point in time with Dushyant Singh in the Central Hall of Parliament. So clearly the undetection aspect and the mode of transmission of this virus aspect makes the ongoing Parliament session and also the danger of transmission from person to person very, very grave and high risk.
Absolutely. Breaking inputs there coming in. Meenakshi Bhanja confirming that Derek O'Brien has now also decided to be on self-quarantine after he said that he was sitting with Dushyant on Wednesday and in fact has also asked for the government to consider calling off this Parliament session. Let's also get in further details coming in from our correspondent Prashant with us here as well. This is regarding Derek O'Brien and the concern that he's raised and the decision now that he's taken himself that because he was in touch with Dushyant Singh, he in fact is going to be on self-quarantine as well. So perhaps there are going to be several other parliamentarians doing the same.
Well, you might see that on Monday because you see, while speaking to me just half an hour back, Derek O'Brien was visibly very scared, he said, but as he was someone who was sitting right next to Dushyant in a meeting that was convened on the issue of transport, and he was there for about 2.5 hours. And not only that, he's in fact requested the government once again that perhaps your Prime Minister is preaching that there should be self-isolation, and hence you should practice what you're preaching. So clearly, standoff has now actually erupted in the Parliament. Not only Derek, but also Sukhendu Sekhar Roy, Suresh Prabhu, all of these parliamentarians are under self-quarantine. So clearly, this is going to be huge in the days to come. But for now, both Vasundhara Raje and Dushyant have been isolated, have been in self-quarantine. They are in complete isolation. We'll have to see what reports come out of both.
All right. Prashant, many thanks. Many thanks for getting us those inputs. This is now echoing in Parliament with a concern being raised of a direct contact with a person who has been in touch with another person, the celebrity singer who tested positive. Is it time to call off this Parliament session now as well? Now, a day after Prime Minister Modi announced the Janta curfew that should be observed, followed by each one of us coming Sunday amidst the coronavirus outbreak, shoppers then flocked to stores to stock up essential food items. This is ranging from dairy products to frozen food and canned goods. There has been an increase in the purchase of daily products, sanitizers by at least 50% more than the required normal demand. Though the prices of other food items, including rice, pulses, oil, they've remained unaffected, but shopkeepers fear that meeting with this spike in demands could be a challenge in the coming days. Our correspondent Neha Hebale with this report from Bengaluru.
No, we have not yet started hoarding because what we try and do is we try and verify the messages that the forwards that we receive day by. So yeah, but I see, I at least know a few people who were on the verge of going and hoarding. So we had to have a talk with them. Don't do it right now. It's not. We have not reached that point yet. But yes.
See, what actually I'm trying to do is like whatever is essential for us that we are keeping the stock. Not actually more, because see, others also need it. So that awareness should be there, and there are much awareness which is going on the social media also, which actually we are following.
मेरा दुकान में अभी उतना इफेक्ट नहीं किया। इस टाइम मेरा माल कितना स्टोर है उतना स्टॉक किया पहले। अभी कितना स्टॉक आने में मार्केट में परचेस करके लेके आएगा। अभी उतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। ऐसा चलेगा बहुत प्रॉब्लम आता है। क्या है अभी एक हफ्ता हो गया, कस्टमर मिनिमम 1 महीने का नहीं है 15 दिन का आइटम घर में स्टोर करता है। अभी का 2 दिन हो गया, कस्टमर पूरा 1 महीने का कितना चाहिए उतना आइटम 1 महीने का आइटम घर में स्टोर करता है। इसलिए चलेगा मेरा का प्रॉब्लम स्टॉक का प्रॉब्लम तो कम आता है। अभी क्या मैगी का आइटम फूड आइटम्स ज़्यादा परचेस करता है। फूड आइटम्स ज़्यादा परचेस करता है, स्टोर करता है। अभी मार्केट में कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। ऐसा लेवल में चलेगा 1 महीने के अंदर फूड आइटम्स का बहुत प्रॉब्लम आता है बेंगलुरु में।
The number of cases of coronavirus are going up in our country, and there is a sort of fear that's gripping the people. The government of India has been urging people not to panic buy and not to panic purchase items. Well, the reason we tell you is because we're doing a ground check at one of the bigger family shopping marts over here in Bengaluru, and what we can tell you at this point in time is, yes, there is no need to panic buy, there is no need to stock up at this point in time, that shops are going to continue to remain open, that they have given that assurance, and also imperative to remember that essential items such as rice, pulses, oils, and also FMCG products such as sanitizers and others will be made available. This is the assurance that shopkeepers are in fact giving. Yes, having said that, in many households we are seeing how people are heading out to go and purchase items at and stock up for the next 1 month, but even the World Health Organization at this point in time has recommended that only stocking up to 2 weeks is okay. But we are assuring people that there is no need to panic purchase or to panic buy. Products will be available in the stores and shops will continue to remain open.
Yes, it's important to keep busting those myths every given hour. Important to take into account what's really true and what's a myth. But in several other measures that continue to be announced by various state government chief ministers, the latest here coming in from Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray here saying that his administration has decided not to stop bus and train services despite the state becoming the worst hit with the coronavirus pandemic. He's ordered the closure, though, of non-essential workplaces, shops and offices across several regions. This is in the Mumbai metropolitan region, in Pune, in Pimpri-Chinchwad and Nagpur till the 31st of March. Chief Minister here ordering all private sector offices in Mumbai metropolitan region and the other areas that we mentioned to follow work from home. Maharashtra, as we know, has reported the maximum number of cases in the state across the country.
ही फिरण्याची सुट्टी नाहीये, ही कृपा करून लक्षात घ्या, ही सुट्टी दिलेली नाही. हे आपल्यावर टाकलेले बंधन आपल्यासाठी आणि आपल्या हिताचं आहे. पण आता आपण मात्र घरात बसून या लढाईवरती विजय मिळवायचा आहे.
Our Deputy News Editor Mayuresh has been getting us further inputs on how this is being followed. Mayuresh, of course, also keeping in mind this is an individual state measure here that has come in over and above what needs to be followed, that has been announced nationally on Sunday as well by the Prime Minister.
Yes, after Prime Minister announced that curfew, Janta Ka curfew, today Uddhav Thackeray addressed a press conference via Facebook, via social media, and in which he clearly said that we are still seeing a lot of people are using public transport, especially the local trains and the Mumbai BST services. And we don't want people to come at one place in a large number, because in the past also we have told and the companies do curb down and work in a 50% attendance and encourage more employees to work from home, but that is not happening. That's why today Maharashtra government has taken the decision that Mumbai metropolitan region, Pune, Nagpur and Pimpri-Chinchwad, all the companies either will work from home or they will be shut. Second most important decision, they announced that though they are not stopping the Mumbai's local or the BST buses, but they are going to monitor the situation about the private companies, whether they are actually following it or not.
Mm-hmm. All right. The emphasis here, of course, being that there are going to be checks that are going to be made for the private companies to check whether private companies are following this as well. Another ground check here that is coming from our correspondent Santhya. This is with respect to shops that have also been instructed to remain shut. Despite those instructions, though, there were many shopkeepers that were seen flouting this law, keeping their shops open. Most of the shopkeepers keeping their shops half shut. Santya Gora with these details.
Some areas in Mumbai are trying to maintain social distancing, but Worli is definitely not one of them. As far as the shops are concerned, despite instructions from BMC and despite the appeals made by the Shopkeepers Association, there are many shops which, for the namesake, are closed, but the business is on. For example, right now I am at Worli Naka, and for example, there's this jeweler's shop. You can see that the shutter is closed, the lock is there, but actually the shopkeepers are sitting inside. The galla is on. You can see that how, in fact, the employees are also inside only. Other than that, you can see a girl who is sitting there at a Vodafone standee. She is there to sell SIM cards. Of course, not an essential thing. Other than that, on the right hand side, there are some cloth shops which are open. Again, not an essential, not absolutely required. So this is Worli Naka for you. In fact, some of the shops actually have their shutters half open, and some of their representatives are actually sitting outside. They are trying to attract customers. They are taking money. They are making phone calls inside, so the material stuff is kept ready. And from beneath these shutters, they are trying to provide that material. So despite all the instructions in place, despite all the appeals about social distancing, one coming from Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself, as far as people of Worli are concerned, you can barely see any social distancing. People are still coming out to shop, and they are trying to violate the rules, of course, because today in Worli the shops needs to be shut as per BMC instructions. But some people in Worli has, of course, they have found a way around all these rules and instructions, and they are violating that in open. So Vodafone standees are there, Vodafone employees are there selling SIM cards. Clothes shops are open. In fact, sweet shops are open. Jewelry shops are open. Only the shutters are closed from the outside. People, the shopkeepers, are trying to run their business as usually.
On that note, we're slipping into a breather. It's a wrap on the show, but non-stop updates coming in regarding the coronavirus pandemic and various measures that need to be taken. Stay on with us.